So I'm speaking with Andrew Winter, host of Selling Houses Australia and columnist in the News Limited papers. So Andrew, what are your top 3 tips for people selling their homes?
I think my top 3 tips would be prepared, know what the real market value of your home is, and understand that the market can go up and down.
So what are the common mistakes that people make when selling?
Oh, the most common mistake is not knowing where their house sits in the market. So where that means is how it actually compares to other things that have recently sold, and most importantly, what other things are recently for sale right now. So it's where it sort of sits in that range of housing stock.
So what do you do if your home doesn't sell in the time that you thought it was going to?
Well, sometimes people panic a little bit too early when their house doesn't sell, and that's why it's very, very important you know how many days on the market it takes to sell a typical house in your suburb, because if you know that, you won't panic until you've gone past that timeline. So if you've still gone past that timeline, it's time to review. It could be review the way you're marketing the home, review what your home offers to buyers, review your agent's performance, and of course, it may be time to review your price expectations.
So Andrew, should you have a set price in your head that you want to achieve, or should you have a price guide?
Look, I think a price guide, trying to have an exact figure in your head is virtually impossible because, I was taught years ago that valuation is an art, not a science. So have a guide in your head and sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't. You've got to go with the flow, go with what the market is prepared to pay.
And so is it a good time to buy now?
Generally, most of the signs are at the moment that it is a buyer's market. You know it's a buyer's market when there's more housing stock available, when the for sale boards are staying up, when the auction clearance rates are low, when there's less sold boards. Generally, yes, across lots of parts of Australia, it is very definitely a buyer's market.
And so how is buying an investment property different to buying a home that you live in?
Totally different. Buying an investment property compared to one you're going to live in is all about figures. I'll always say that if you're buying a house to live in and you really like it, it's 500,000 and you can't get it for less than 508, whatever. If you can think it's going to be a long-term family home for you, stick with it. But really, as an investment property, if it's worth 500, you want to try and get it for 490 because it's all about the figures. It's all got to stack up. So it's a fundamental difference.
So what's the one thing that you wish you knew now that, or when you bought your first home? What would you
when I actually bought my first home, I was 18. And if only I'd known and had a way to blag the loans, I should have bought a whole heap of them and kept hold of them. Basically, I should have been buying from the mid-80s all the way through to the mid-90s and not stopped. If I'd known that, I wouldn't have to do this for a living.
Thank you very much for your time, Andrew.